Okay, with Mark Kaplan, revealing Raymond, a son uncovers his father's past, is a short film, 15 minutes long. We talked 5 years ago. You reminded me of that. We did. This is a different. That movie was vastly different than this movie. That was kind of like graphic art, kind of like a political commentary. This
Yes,
one is very personal. This is not graphic art. This is kind of stock footage. This is your story, right?
yes, correct.
So what motivated, because you're a graphic artist by trade, what motivated you to kind of like spend time on this film about your dad?
Well, the inciting incident was that I transferred an old VHS tape to digital after 20 or so years of not having seen it.
Okay.
So I finally saw it again, and it was home movies of my family that my uncle shot in the mid 1950s. So I was a little boy, and my parents were in it. And so seeing this footage again, these home movies again, just flooded me with so much emotion.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that 2 years prior, a friend of mine had gifted me Ancestry.com, and I was able to discover my father's childhood, which was a complete mystery to me because he died when I was 12 and he never talked about his childhood. So all I knew was that he grew up in a foster home in Queens, New York, Jamaica, Queens, and uh, and that was about it. And I knew he had a brother and a sister who he lost touch with early on when they were kids. So he had no family, lost total touch. And I used Ancestry. I got an offer to use their database for 3 months for a nominal fee. And I dug into these files, this database, and I was able to piece together the story of his childhood. And it's horrifying. He was an orphan. His whole he had four brothers, no, two brothers and one sister, four in all. And his father must have died very young. And his mother, this was in 1930 at the height of the Depression, she couldn't care for them. Under occupation on the census, it said no occupation.
Mhm.
So she couldn't care for her family, and she put them in an orphanage. And he was 4 at the time. So can you imagine a 4-year old where you're barely conscious of anything being put into this situation? Uh, he loses touch with his siblings, no sign of his mother again. And so he grew up, he never wanted to talk about his childhood. And that's all I knew about it. So when I did this work and found out the truth of his childhood, it was amazing to me to understand what happened, what the story was.
That's
And then
amazing.
and then the sadness of him getting terminally ill at age 33. He had a terminal illness, and I was 6 at the time when he got ill. And so he was around for six years more, and he died when I was 12. So, I grew up without him, but his memory, loomed large. And I remember, a lot of little things. And it was important for me to make this film and tie it to my son because it's so much of it was about connecting the
Yeah.
feelings of not being complete with my own dad and then wanting to be a father myself to give the love and attention that I never got from him to a child of my own. So when my son came along, we're as thick as thieves. We're so close, and we have an amazing relationship. So
Does your son have children?
no, not yet.
Okay.
I'm
So
hoping someday.
You're hoping someday, because I'm just like I'm doing like well, like you don't have to, like is he? I'm assuming he's a grown man now. Your son?
Yes, he's
Okay.
41.
Okay.
He's
Well, yeah,
actually
it's
he
not like a woman,
outlived
but time is ticking, I guess, right?
he outlived my father
Yeah.
already. And I still see him. I say this in the film. I still see him as a young man. So
Yeah.
it's even more heartbreaking and
Gotcha.
hard to understand.
Yeah. Well, just
Yeah.
to say, I had my son when I was 43. So
Ah,
basically, there you go.
yeah.
It
Good.
could happen, right? So yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So obviously, anybody who has obviously, well, everybody has a father and a son. Like it's a very kind of it's a film, very personal film for you, but also from a thematic standpoint, it does connect with me. Like I just talked about my son, my father. There is that connection when I'm watching your
Yes.
film because we all can
I,
kind of
I,
relate.
I've had lots of people who've seen it, men in particular,
Yeah,
comment how it brought up all these emotions about their relationship with their
yeah,
fathers.
yeah,
So it's like when I saw Field of Dreams, the Kevin
yeah.
Costner film. I can't watch that film without falling apart. It
I
just
yeah.
kills me every time.
Which is
But
interesting because my son is a rabid baseball fan, and
ah,
he's 7 years old. Loves baseball more than anything, and so do I. So eventually, I will show him that film. But but yeah,
and make
so
sure you have some good catches with him, right?
yeah, I do. I catch with them there. He play. I have to play. I not have to. I made a deal where like anytime he asks me to play, I play right because I have a flexible
Wonderful.
schedule. So like I play catch with him every day. Like I coach his baseball team. I coached the last yesterday, and uh and so basically yeah. So it's like that. Just like it all kind of connects. It makes me even want to cry right now thinking about it. Right?
Yes,
So yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, Field of Dreams, that's the one.
yeah.
It's a killer. I saw it again like a month ago and it ripped my heart out all over again. It
Yeah.
just does it every time.
I'm taking him through the baseball movies. So he's
Yeah.
seen the Sandlot, and he saw like Little Big League and a couple other ones. Yeah, but basically Major League and in the Natural and Field of Dreams are next when he gets a little bit older, right? So
Yes, exactly. You might want to save it until he's a little more emotionally
yeah,
aware. Yeah.
that said, he's a pretty smart kid. So the miracle with your film is that how many people had video cameras, much less were doing home movies in the 1950s? I would think
Exactly.
a
I
very
think
small percentage.
very rare. And
Yeah.
my uncle had the foresight to, put this camera and these bright lights were attached to it, put
Yeah.
it in people's faces constantly. So God bless him. He's still with us. And I thank him every day for
So like
that.
16 millimeter he was shooting on
No,
or
no, eight
8 millimeter.
millimeter.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. So no
Yeah.
sound, just all video, right?
Yes. Just the tiny little film frame
Yeah.
about that big.
And it's amazing that it's restored and you kind of did it. I'm assuming your family all watched the film,
Yes. Well, I'm the only one left of my immediate family, sadly.
but is there any connection with your dad, like in his siblings or?
Well, actually, in the film, it talks
Yeah.
about that I once I found out his past and I knew his siblings' names, I was able to trace down one of his nieces. So, in other words, his sister's daughter. I was able to find her. She lives in Wisconsin. And I called her up. I tracked down her phone number and her email address. And I called her up. And she was a little suspicious, to say
Sure.
the least. You
Yeah.
know, who's this? They want my money, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I had to explain,
Yeah.
I'm just here to see if your mother was Norma Kaplan, who was my father, Raymond Kaplan's sister.
Yeah.
So once I said all that, she calmed down, but she still doubted. She wasn't sure
Of
if
course.
this was for real. So
Yeah.
I said, well, the only way we'll know for sure is if you do a DNA test, and then we'll see if we have a match, because that's what ancestry is. It's
Yeah.
DNA. And she did, and of course we're a match.
And
So
do you still contact or in contact
yes,
with her?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we talk, we Zoom, She lives in Wisconsin. I'm in New York City, so
Yeah,
we haven't met in the flesh yet, but we Zoom on a semi-regular basis,
yeah.
and she's just incredible. She and a partner, wonderful people. It's just great to have this relationship that I had no idea existed until I made that connection.
That's truly amazing. But you should make a trip to Wisconsin. It's a great state,
Oh,
by the way. I'm doing the math. It's probably a 16-hour drive from New York City to Wisconsin. So,
well, I don't have a car. New
oh,
Yorkers
oh yeah,
don't
you're a
have
New Yorker.
cars,
Okay, take a
right?
take a flight or a train then, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I'll wait for the airfares to come down
Yeah.
after this war, hopefully.
So okay, so and then you did the photos of your dad. Like, is they're it's very remarkable because there's that stoic face, I guess, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And the unfortunate part for you is that he was sick half your life, I guess, right?
Yes. Literally.
Yeah. And so you kind of that's your I'm assuming that's the half your life, but that's the memory, like your core memories of him as being sick, unfortunately, right?
Yes.
But there's
Yeah.
just strength in him in these photos and these videos,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. He was a wonderful guy. He was soft spoken, kind, loved music. He would play music in our apartment all the time.
Yeah.
Turned me on to movies. There were still movies I watched that I remember watching with him. Uh, we got into watching baseball and the Olympics, which I still treasure doing. You know, that's part of who I am is because of his influence.
Yeah.
Of course,
Like he's like, are you like a medium type of guy? Like, do you believe in that spirituality where like they're around or
not quite,
yeah,
not quite. I mean, I would love if that were real, but although I have to admit, I've had dreams where I've touched his arm and I felt the hair on his arm. I mean, so realistic, it's frightening. So, and my wife is very much into that idea of, oh, you know, that was a connection, that was for real. Uh, I tend to not buy all that stuff, but it's still remarkable what's what's in the mind, you know, makes it very real.
yeah. It's like there's something, yeah. There is. I don't know if it's a spiritual thing, but there's an element that's in you, I guess, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And that's what your film for me. That's what your film's about. It's that like your dad is always with you. Your parents are like there's that connection, no matter if they're dead or alive, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah. You carry them with you forever.
That's amazing. So did you so in terms of making the film itself, I know you're a graphic artist, so I guess you're one with the editing room. You understand how the editing room. But how was the process for you? Did you like imagine a 15-minute film? Like how was
I,
the
I
creative
I had no
situation?
I had no idea how long it would be.
Mhm.
No idea. What I did first, after I thought I have to make this, this is a story worth telling. I have to make this film. Uh, I started writing the script for the narration and just wrote it out. Took a while, and then I recorded it right here at my computer, talking into a mic. Edited it to get all the breaths out, you know, try to make it as tight as possible. And then starting to piece together what image would accompany, or a series of images would
Yeah.
accompany which section of narration. So putting it together and thinking it would go one way, a linear story, but then realizing I also had music. I used a Coltrane song that was always very spiritual to me. It meant so much to me. It's called Wise One.
Mhm.
Beautiful Coltrane tune. Uh, so, what sections are going to have music and what sections aren't? You know, if it's a serious subject where I'm trying to get a lot of information across, I didn't want music. But other moments where it's a little bit lighter overview, that's where the music will come back. So it comes and goes, So the music kind of dictated which sections of narration would go where. So that
Yeah.
was the first surprise that, oh, this can't be here. I have to put this section later. That kind of thing, shuffling it around.
But you had to make it a visual because you're doing like it's amazing even looking at the census how they did the census back then, right? Like it's all like
Yes.
handwritten. Of course it was handwritten, but because you don't think about it now, right? Because everybody the census people or you do it on the computer. We just had to do one in Canada like 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago, and it's like so like basic stuff, right? But it's like back then, of course, it had to be all kind of like in a chart, I guess, right?
Yes. Someone coming to your door, getting
Yeah.
your information, and then recording it by hand
Yeah.
into a big chart. Yeah.
But it told me like how important the census is, right? Because sometimes I roll my eyes with it, but it's very important.
Oh my God. Yes. It's a way of people being able to get in touch with their ancestors,
Yeah.
figure out their stories, trace it. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Thank heaven it exists.
And you kind of end the film with your son, right? Like
Yes. Yes.
the connection, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he had no idea I was going to do that, and he was very moved by by the fact that I did do that. But I explained to him that's what it's about for me. It's about paying it all forward, you know,
Yeah.
giving him the benefit of what I didn't get, that kind of thing.
But at the same time, it's like you could tell. Well, we always try our best, but you seem like a very good father, right? So your dad taught you something, either taught you what not to do or what to do, right? I guess, right? Like
Yeah,
sometimes it goes both ways.
he was a wonderful father, very strict,
Yeah.
but very kind and loving. And I couldn't get enough attention and affection. So I was constantly hugging and kissing him, and he was always there for me. You know, it was
Yeah.
he was never put off by my adulation. It was,
Especially when he was sick, I'm sure it wasn't easy for him, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, there's a really upsetting moment in the film.
Yeah. Help me.
Yes, help me. Yeah, he wrote "Help Me" one day in the frost of a window we had.
Yeah.
One of these. This is before double pane windows, so they'd frost up every winter on a cold day. And one day, when he was probably 2 years away from his death, he wrote "Help Me" in the window. And when I saw it, I laughed. I thought it was the funniest thing. I was 10 or
Yeah.
so. I thought it was hilarious. I didn't understand it because my parents never told me that he was dying.
Yeah.
It was just normal that he was going to the hospital constantly. He couldn't work. And so, I laughed, and he didn't say a word about it. He didn't
Yeah.
try to explain it, nothing. But realizing after he was gone that, oh my God, what what a thing to do, what a cruel reaction
Yeah,
for
but it
him.
wasn't your fault. You were in the dark, right?
Exactly, exactly. But
Would you
still,
did
it
you
haunts.
want would you have wanted them to say something to you?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I I wished that's what I say in the film when my mother
Yeah.
tells me towards the end of the film that he died. My first reaction was, why didn't you tell me? And my sister, why didn't you tell us that he was dying? Because in those days they wanted to protect children from any bad news, or they thought children can't handle this kind of information, that kind of stuff. But give your child the benefit of the doubt, let them process this
100%.
however they can, you
Because
know.
they know something, like there's something missing, right? So like they can't connect the dots because they're young, but at the same time they know something's off, right?
Yes. So the fact that I laughed about that is
Yeah.
just a testament to, if I had known that, I wouldn't have been laughing. I think I would have understood and made that connection. I
So
would hope.
but it's in the way he was like he held on for so long, right? Like was he supposed to hold on for that long? Like
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know, it was 6 years of him being terminally ill.
Yeah.
Unless that's just how long it take to finally take him out. I don't I don't I don't understand. And then the other part that is heartbreaking is within a year they had a cure, a treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma
Yeah.
within a year of his death. So just missed.
Yeah. But that didn't guarantee anything, but because he was far along. But basically,
Yes,
yeah, it's just like it's time. World life is a lot about timing, right? So
absolutely.
like even your film itself, like if you didn't have that stock, all that footage, what is it like a 1% chance? What a one
Right.
percent? I'm less than 1% of families did home videos, probably in the 50s, right?
Probably. And
Yeah,
if it weren't for that footage, that video, the film wouldn't have what it has. If it
exactly.
were just photos, it wouldn't have the same impact.
No,
There's something about seeing the moving figure,
yeah,
even without sound. There's a thing about the Lumiere brothers we just saw, a relatively new movie, and they talk about the miracle of movement of film at
yeah,
that point because they invented it, and they talk about it defies death.
yeah,
The 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 medium of film was the first to defy death, to make someone eternal, that their image of them alive is now eternal. They talked about it in this Lumiere brothers film. That was something they acknowledged.
yeah.
Pretty amazing.
And yeah, but back then it scared the crap out of people, right? So
Right, that train
yeah,
coming in the station. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's it all kind of connects, and you made it a visual experience, even with the census and kind of like all like you kind of gave it a cinematic experience, kind of like everything connected, right? So like it's an interesting film. It's like like it's 15 minutes, but it feels like it's like 7 minutes. It's like goes by so fast.
Yes.
You know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? Like yeah,
Yes. I wanted it to be as succinct as possible.
yeah.
Tell the story as quickly and as succinctly as possible. That was it.
So do you still teach at the School of Visual Arts?
No, no, that ended. I wound up teaching for many more years at Parsons School of Design. I taught Photoshop there,
Okay.
and that ended fairly recently, a couple of years ago. They decided I had to follow their core curriculum instead of my own curriculum. And when
Okay.
I looked at their lesson plan, I didn't care for it. So
Can you? I'm just curious because it's everything because the education system is different, especially in animation and Photoshop and all that, because of AI and everything. What was the thing that you disagreed with?
well, it was just their choice of assignments. They didn't get into the depth that my own assignments that I had created over 25 years got into. I had some really creative assignments that purposely involved tons of technique, whereas their assignments were at a basic level, and it didn't really get students to explore the possibilities to the extent that my lessons did. So I said I can't teach your course anymore
Yeah.
unless I can do it my own way. And they said, sorry, bye,
Well,
after 25 years of teaching.
but
But
I
I
get
think they wanted to get rid of me anyway because my salary I had worked up to a point, and
yeah,
they can get someone in at a much lower salary to
sure.
start with who will listen to their rules and not be a
Indoctrinate.
problem
Yeah.
for them, not make waves.
But
Right.
I guess you had that freedom to do that, right? You weren't tied to not like
No,
yeah,
this came out of nowhere. And
yeah,
in their guide, or what do they call it? I'm forgetting what they call it. Their reason, their mission statement. That's
yeah,
it, mission statement. They say it's about promoting creativity and individualism.
yeah,
I thought that was hilarious. The
yeah.
complete opposite. No, you got to do it this way.
Yeah, well, so for someone who sometimes attends CEO meetings, there's a lot of bullshit and mission statements. It's easy.
Right.
It's easy to write, but like everybody's a hypocrite. Everybody's full of shit. Right?
Yes,
So
right. They don't mean it.
yeah, exactly. Well, what's next for you? Are you gonna make another? Are you gonna keep making movies or?
Well, I'm waiting for another inspiration to
Gotcha.
come to me. I mean, that was the inspiration came when I saw those home movies again for the
Mhm.
first time in 20 some odd years. So that was the light bulb that went off. And I said, okay, I need to make this as a movie. Uh, so all I do my political art every day. So I'm constantly busy doing videos, short videos, and photo montage images every day. I'm busy all the time doing that work.
Well, it
Uh,
seems like you got some. You got a lot of inspiration on that part. In the United
yes,
States, it's like it's every fucking part of my French. Every day there's something crazy happening, right? It's like
yeah,
you forget what happened last week. It's like, but that's the way it's almost like the way they want it, I guess, right? Distraction,
yeah,
distraction, distraction.
flood, flood the zone, right?
Yeah, like so much
Yeah,
going on. They just had we were doing this podcast. They had a US. Like, I'd never thought in a million years they had a UFC fight at the White
yes,
House. What the hell?
insane. Great minds, right?
Like, yeah, I don't want to
Madness.
be. Then, yeah, like I'm a big sports fan, but I'm not. I never got into UFC, but I don't want to be down on it. But basically, that seems a little bit insane. Even if there was a baseball game happening, right? It just seems
Yeah,
nuts.
it has no place being
Yeah,
at the White House.
yeah,
He's already turned it into a gold plated nonsense. Ugh,
making money,
horrible.
I guess, right?
Yeah, hand over fist, he's making money.
Yeah, but you got a lot of inspiration with your art, though, right? So you can look at it that way.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true. But I'd give it up in a second if
yeah.
he were gone. I would love it.
I was thinking about the Daily Show has never been better,
That's right. That's
right?
right. Thank
But
heaven for
there's a
Jon
reason
Stewart.
for it.
Once a week, he's fantastic, and the
Well,
rest
Jon
of them
Stewart,
are
yeah, like
wonderful.
he knows what he's doing, right? But it's like so good, but it's also like, well, it's good because of that, right? It's like the counter,
Yes,
right? So yeah,
but I miss Colbert already.
yeah.
Terrible that he's gone.
Well, he's going to get into like podcasting and stuff like that. He'll be probably better than he is in that. Who really watches though? There's people watch those shows now, or it's
I
like
did.
I guess you do, yeah.
I
But
did
basically,
every day.
sorry, I don't mean to like, but I'm saying I'm being general, right? Like
Yeah,
they're just they do the shows for clips on YouTube, right? They're doing the shows for like 3 minute clips, right?
I suppose that's the younger audience
Yeah,
doesn't even have televisions. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's the way we're
uh,
at.
that's right.
Yeah.
Straight.
So, but yeah, and then I guess the other two guys are okay. I guess Kimmel and they're not really comedians though. That's the funny thing about it. I don't know. They're not really stand ups, right? So,
No, no.
anyways,
But Kimmel does a great job.
yeah,
He goes after him ruthlessly. It's
he does it
wonderful.
in a good, nice, nuanced way. He does it like in a very like clever way, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
and you do it too. You do it too every day, I guess, right?
Every day,
All right. So
every day.
it's 2026 now. What's going to happen in November? What's your prediction?
Uh, the Dems will definitely get the House. I hope
Yeah,
definitely.
you said
And
definitely.
yeah, but it's still there's always something can go wrong, and he's going to try and cheat. Of course, that's what he does. So he'll claim the election was stolen again, lie about it like he did in 2020, and hopefully we'll get the Senate as well. And if we get both houses, that'll make him a lame duck, and he'll get nothing done. And the impeachments can start. Let's hope. Although I don't think they'll get a supermajority
No, never. Right?
victim.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's kind of a waste of time doing it, right? Even his convictions is like, why are they like, anyways, it's all a waste of time. It's just like they're doing it for political points, the Democrats, but like it doesn't solve anything, right? So
but people have to be accountable because he's getting away with murder. He's
his
raping
legacy will be
one.
his accountability. That's how it works.
Well,
It's how history will show him, right?
and they've got to pass so many new laws that he broke. There wasn't a specific law. It was more
Yeah.
customary, emoluments clause. He
Yeah.
blew through that. He ignored it completely. So that those kinds of things have to be locked down to prevent anyone who would dare to do the stuff he tried to do again.
Well, America, it's been an interesting 250 years. It's kind of fascinating in many ways. He's not the worst president ever. If you look at historically, there's
I
the
don't know about that.
there's some
I
there's some
might
bad
disagree.
ones. There's some
There
bad
were
ones.
some bad ones for sure, but
Yeah.
no one was as corrupt as he is. He's just
I don't even know
blatant.
if that's true, but yeah.
No, I think that is. I don't think anyone has grifted, made as much money, or even proportionately for their time as he has.
Yeah, but
So
he's hiding in plain sight. It's just there. It's everybody
yeah,
can see it, right? Nobody
yeah.
cares.
Although he tries to sneak stuff
Sure.
by everyone constantly. How much did we just find out about the Epstein files, the cover up in the Situation Room? They all got together to try to protect him, to cover up the information. How are we going to do this? J.D. Vance is in the Situation Room
Yeah.
organizing this movement of the cabinet to protect him from this information getting out about him being accountable. Incredible.
And
Got to change.
still he's in the White House and nobody cares. Like I'm
Well,
not saying nobody, but you know what I mean, right? Like it's just yeah.
well, the Democrats care, but the Republicans are spineless and they won't stand up to him because he controls the base.
Yeah.
He gets the primary voters to come out and choose his choice for primary candidates. But in the general election, let's hope they're wiped out. That's the hope.
Yeah, that's the hope. But you have to have a good candidate. Like it happened in Canada. If you saw what happened in Canada, is that Trudeau had to go, right? He was a liberal, he had to go. He was too woke, right? And we needed more of a balance. Like I'm not talking about what I believe in, whatever. We just needed a balance. So our conservative guy, he was ahead by 20 points. And then Trump got elected, and then people saw, wait a minute, he's just going the other extreme, right? Of what
Yeah.
So we just got a white guy who understands the economy, who's not really a liberal, not really a conservative, like a central guy, and we just slated him into the prime minister's role. And
He seems to be great, Carney. He
but
seems to be
that's what
wonderful.
happened, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened in Canada. Is that we just
Yeah.
like basically saw that we don't want crazies, we don't want too extreme.
Yes.
He was up by 20 points and he blew it. He lost all those, and then we just slept him because we don't. Well, that's what most people want. Most people are centralized people.
Yeah.
Like you and I might be more liberal than most, but most people are just central. They just want to fucking part of. They just want to do their job, go home, have their vacations, and just like help their kids go to school, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
They don't want any
That's it.
nonsense.
Yes. Correct.
So that's what they need the Democrats need to get somebody that is just right down the middle, who's
Yes.
not crazy. That's what they need right now. They can reset, right? So
Yes. And talking about affordability and meaning it and
exactly.
having a plan to
But
do something about
don't
it.
be too radical. Just basically just hit it in the middle. And then if you're mad and you're a liberal or you're mad, don't be mad. Just like ironically enough, that's what Obama was. He was a
Yes,
pretty moderate
exactly.
guy.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, exactly. Clinton, of course, he was way moderate. He was like almost
Yes.
a conservative. He's a conservative compared to Canadians, right? So,
Yes.
but
very
that's
much.
what the country is. The country is like that. So just
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Yeah, I'm looking at it from above, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Literally.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not being heady about it. I'm just saying I'm Canadian. I'm looking at it from above, right? So,
Right. That's right.
all right. Fantastic film. Fantastic film. I hope it gets out there. Thank you very much for your conversation. Let's not be 5 years. Let's make it next year. So that means you have to make another film.
I have to make another film.
Yeah.
All right. I have to come up with an idea quick.
All right.
Thank you, Matthew. Pleasure to see you again.
You too.
All the best.
Bye.